Hey, hey, how's it going, friends? Jennifer here. Today we are with Dennett Edwards, my good friend from CDPD, and that is the Corona Daze. Oh my goodness, why can't I remember what PD is? Dennett, you want to film, have
Corona Daze
over here.
Okay. Everyone does
Professional
it.
development.
Yes. All right. Yeah.
LinkedIn Live. Hi, can't get my life together today, guys. Bear with me. But we're here with Dennett Edwards of CDPD, and she's just absolutely incredible. We met through Martin Pratt, our friend with the Growth Academy, and he just let me meet Dennett. I was able to come on, share some great advice with job seekers, and was just truly inspired by her and what she's been able to build. So welcome, Dennett. Would love it if you could just say hey to everyone and tell us a little bit about yourself and CDPD.
All right. Thank you for having me, Jennifer. So I'm Dennett Edwards. I am the founder of Corona Daze, DAZE Professional Development Group. And we are that. We are our professional development, career development group, founded in response to unemployment and underemployment related to COVID-19. However, once I founded the group, I realized that the unemployment and underemployment is not just related to COVID-19. So we just have had a problem in our country with it. And what we do is we just provide free career development resources to people, training. We teach them how to network. We connect them to people like Jennifer. Jennifer came in graciously and gave us a free presentation. And it was just phenomenal. So that's what we do. And that's what I do. And so people know me for, I believe that everyone has something inside of them, and I call that power. So we all have power inside of us right now, even if you don't feel like it, even if your circumstance right now doesn't suggest that to you, that you have something inside of you that you could use to achieve greatness, to recognize your greatness. And that could be in your hand and your heart and your soul and your mind. And that's what I try to instill into everyone I meet.
I love that. I love that, Dennett. That's so inspirational. And so in regards to CDPD, so I know it was started obviously in reflection of what happened with COVID, but as it grew, did it sort of like develop and shift and change? Can you talk a little bit about that? I imagine how it started off very early is not, what it is today.
Yes, exactly. So it started with 53 people. Who were contacting me from all over the world. I've worked all over the world. And so people knew me as someone who I always helped people with resumes and interview prep and, okay, what do you want to be when you grow up? Okay, let's see, this is how we get you there. And I just felt like it was a gift that God gave me and I was supposed to share it with people for free. And so people contacted me, at the height of COVID, maybe it was in mid-March when we started to lock down all over the world and ask for help. And very quickly, we had our first 200 people within 2 weeks. And so we began to grow. And what it started out as was me saying, hey, let me stop writing your resumes for you because I can't write 53 resumes, right?
100%.
Let me teach you how to do some things, and then let me find pros like you, Jennifer, to come in and teach you how to do some things that I don't know. And that just ballooned into people coming in. First of all, there's a lot of shame associated with being unemployed or underemployed, no matter where you are, right? And so our community, it started with people like, even though we had the community contacted me and say, hey, Dennett, I need help with this, or can you post this in the group? And I saw the community grow into people who really wanted to support and pour into one another. And so one of the things that I love about our community and what it has become is it has become a place where not just me, not just you, Jen, not just pros pour into our members, but our members pour into each other. And that I love, that we've been able to create a space and a place where people feel like I do have something to offer. They've begun to recognize that power I was talking about. And so our members help one another one-on-one, or I always say we had a Mildred Allen. She came into the group. She was unemployed and she just wanted to share her story about her unemployment in the group. And so many people said, oh, that resonated with me. It helped me. She was very graceful during her unemployment. And while she was presenting to us, she got a job offer. They called her for the offer while she was presenting. Not only did she get her job, and that was a couple months ago, she stayed in the group. and she's continuing to help our members. So that's what we've ballooned into. We've ballooned into a place where you can come, you can learn, you can help somebody, or you can be helped. And then sidebar for me, it's ballooned into a whole nother career. Yes, I have a new career.
Yes.
Yeah, which is, I mean, but I've been doing this work since I was 19. I just didn't charge for it.
Right. Right.
And so I'm now doing career strategy work for individuals, and doing some workshops and seminars for groups and organizations, and speaking to organizations about that. Like, how do you take that power? First of all, how do you realize that power you have inside of you? Right? Like, and there are ways that I know how to help you identify it. And then what do you do with it to advance your career? And so that's what we do. And the last thing I'll say is the third business that I have, because CDPD itself is a Facebook group, and I'm not monetizing it. I want to continue it to be exactly what it is, a place where people can come and get free resources and give resources. So the other thing I have going on is I received after I got the recognition on Business Insider's Most Innovative Career Coach of 2020. And I'm not the only one. There are 22 other people, but it is a global list. So that's like,
but you did it, and you deserve props. So snaps to you.
Yes. After I got that, someone sent me a link to a grant opportunity in my city, which I live in Baltimore City, although I'm from New York City. And that opportunity that I received, I got it. And it was a planning grant for me to plan a Baltimore City Corona Daze Professional Development Group. So that is my real nonprofit that I'm in the process of founding. It's still Corona Daze Professional Development Group, but it is a program for residents of Baltimore City. So I'm really excited about that. So that's what we do.
That's absolutely incredible, Dennett. That is so inspirational and so inspiring to me and to so many others, I'm sure. Just sort of starting something with the purest intentions, and the fact that you're keeping it so pure, I think, is amazing. And I would love it if you'd share more with people about how they could get involved with CDPD if they're interested in joining, because it really is a great community and resource.
Yeah. So if you want to join us, you can find us on Facebook, and we are Corona Daze Professional Development. And it's the group, not the page, right? I mean, you can visit our page, but come into the group. I always tell people, come into the group. You don't have to say a thing, right? If you're not comfortable, don't say a thing. Just glean, get the information, watch the presentations. You can do that. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn if you need help, and I'm saying this as Dennett Edwards, not as, I'm saying this as Dennett Edwards, the founder of CDPD. That's what everyone knows me as in CDPD. Like, if you are a job seeker and you're struggling and you need help, reach out to me on LinkedIn, Dennett Edwards. If you are a professional or a job seeker who can afford career strategy work and you'd like to work with me, reach out to me on LinkedIn, Dennett Edwards, right? So both ways, I help everyone. And the fourth thing we do, which I didn't say, is if you're on Clubhouse, we have a club called Career Mentor Days, and it is becoming my second baby. Like, I could see how parents like struggle. You don't love one more than the other, but I didn't think that I would love the Clubhouse work as much as I am loving CDPD. But what we do on Clubhouse is we have a club called Career Mentor Days, of course, DAZE. Oh, and I'll tell you about Days in a minute. But in that space, what we do is, and all of this comes from my personal. So personally, I did not have a mentor until I was 12 years into my professional career. I had already been a director for about no longer than that, about 6 years before I actually had a mentor, right? So I was a director at 28, so getting ready to be 28. I was 27.
Impressive.
Yeah, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was winging it. I mean, like,
we're all winging it, are we? All the time. I mean, come on, let's get real.
I was winging it, even with the graduate studies and management, like that does but so much. I'm not knocking a graduate degree. I have almost 3 of them, but even the issues and challenges that I faced in the workplace were not those case studies that I was reading and tackling in grad school. So I didn't have a mentor until I was 12 years into my career. And I know while I had a successful career, I know that it could have been more successful. I know that I made plenty of mistakes. And I needed someone to help guide me. So I have the space Career Mentor Daze, and Daze is, you know, it's a daze, like Corona Daze. This virus came and we were in a daze about, first of all, about life. Like, oh my gosh, do I wear a mask? Do I wear gloves? Do I sanitize my groceries? You had that. But then it became really clear that people weren't sure if they were going to have work or could they go to work. So we were just in this daze. And I just felt like no matter, even though we were in this daze worldwide, global, we still could do something to ensure that we were marketable. Right? We could work on our skills. We could help one another in that daze. And so that's the daze. And then Career Mentor Daze is that. So I was in a daze, walking around 12 years, doing the best that I knew how to do with no mentors. I'm not a first gen college grad, but I might as well be. My mom got her first degree a year before I got mine. My dad got his, I was probably around 7 or 8, but my mom was a single mom, so I had a lot of first gen issues going into professional work, right? And so I know there are a lot of people out there like me, and you need help, you need mentors. And so we have Career Mentor Days so that if people want to come into the Clubhouse space and they want to be a mentor, they can do it just for the hour we have the room by sharing information. Or they can say to me, Dennett, I really want to be connected to a mentee. And this is the type of person that I want, and I could connect them with a mentee. Same with a mentee. You can come in and say, hey, I need a mentor, Dennett, please help me. And we'll get that going. Hopefully, I've promised that by tomorrow, and I will have it. I have a social tap on my IG so that if anyone in the Clubhouse wants to find a mentor or find a mentee, they can fill out the form from my IG profile and then be matched with someone. So that's what we do. Yeah.
That is absolutely incredible. I'm learning things that I didn't even know you guys offered. This is amazing. So many great resources. And yes, I see so many people commenting. Please link the group if possible. I will link it after this is over in the comment section for you guys, since I know so many of you want to join. And just wanted to say hey to Morgan, or Elizabeth, sorry. How are you doing, love?
Hey.
Thank you for the compliment on my hair. I appreciate it. And yes, Elizabeth actually says, Dennett, she loves what you're working on.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you.
Yes, and Elizabeth actually works at Google. She's one of my coworkers, so she's.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
But anyway, Dennett, in regards to what you're doing, what do you think is the next step? What do you think is, including Clubhouse? I know that's kind of where we're going, right? More of that virtual open Q&A sort of format, which I really love. I've been considering starting to do some of these live sessions where maybe I include the link and people can come up and like video chat with us as well if they would like to do that. I've been thinking that's something that could be fun. I know there's a lot of people who aren't brave enough to get on video. So that's why Clubhouse is great, because it really allows people that space. But where do you think we're headed? What do you think is the next big thing in regards to, connecting with candidates, job seekers, and really getting ahead in 2021?
All right. So there are a couple of things. I think, of course, Clubhouse has changed the game, right? Clubhouse has changed the game. It's still in beta. So we know right now it's just iOS. And I didn't know, because I'm an iPhone lover. I didn't know that for everyone, I think the statistic was for every one iPhone user, there are 3 Androids, right? Wow. So yeah. So imagine what's going to happen when the floodgate opens for the Android users, right? So I love that we're testing out the waters and we're figuring it out, and we're going to perfect some things. So Clubhouse is going to remain a place, and even explode, a place where people can come, not just to hear, right? So you can go into the rooms and you can hear, but what I love about it is you can raise your hand and you can say, this is what's on my mind. This is the challenge that I'm having. Or, yes, Jennifer, I agree with you. However, in my situation, it was this. And there is someone in that audience who either has your answer, has a resource for you. I myself have had people come into my box and offer things to me, as well as people come into my box and ask me for help on Clubhouse. Like amazing. I've made money off of Clubhouse already, and I don't sell anything. yeah, I don't, everyone else, I don't sell anything, but people have offered me, situations that will make me money in terms of workshops and speaking engagements, just because I said something on Clubhouse. So I think that is amazing, that access that you have to decision makers. You have it on LinkedIn, but it's closer and it's more intimate in Clubhouse. And I think that that's going to give that's going to give people, job seekers, solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, an opportunity to be really, really visible in the way that they haven't before. And so I encourage everyone to be visible in that space if you're on there, or if you get on there. So that's one. Another thing that I think is going to happen, largely because of COVID, is a lot of people realize that they were unfulfilled in their work. They realize that they, whether they were my members or not, though, but many of my members, because we encourage this, we encourage, like you're doing a passion project right now that has turned into a side hustle, that's turned into a lucrative business for you, right? And
Correct.
You work. Yes, and you work. So I think that those opportunities they're front and center in people's minds right now in a way that they weren't a year ago, and that's going to continue. Also, I think for you pros, you real career pros that help people find work, and the recruiters, I think a path of opportunity that I haven't seen many take is you have them now. You have a lot of people coming to you and they want a job. They do something really well in addition to the job that they're looking for. And then you have someone else who comes to you who needs what that person has. So I think recruiters have a great opportunity to become connectors of people.
Yes.
Right? Yes. That you could connect people who could probably get together, roll that synergy up and have a new offering, have a new, they're offering a new service, right? And I think that a savvy recruitment professional is going to see that. They're going to remember their clients, and they're going to say, hey, I know you need a bookkeeper. I know someone who does that. And, that it's going to allow for greater connections, but it's also going to allow for another stream of income within recruitment. So it's not just recruiting for the organization, but it is this kind of and I don't know what you guys will call it, but I know it's there. It's like you're going to match people up who can help each other make money, right? It's either going to help them to solve a business problem, help them to give them solutions. So those are the things that I think are going to happen. And what I would love is for CDPD, as it is on Facebook, to continue to grow. And I would like other people to start other communities similar, because what we do doesn't resonate with everyone, right? But we need to have, like everyone says, find your tribe. You need to find your tribe. You're going to gain strength from them. You're going to gain so much from finding your tribe. And that by doing that, like, we keep showing each other that you can pour into someone and then someone pours into you, and it just snowballs and it balloons. And I believe we're going to see more of that as people say, this pandemic has said to me and a lot of people, it's not okay to be unfulfilled. Prior to this, I think prior to this pandemic, we said to ourselves, yeah, I'm not really happy, but I got the 6 figures. I get a good bonus. Everything is well. Okay, it more than pays my bills. It allows me to do whatever else, right?
Right.
But then this pandemic came, and people, life was threatened, livelihood was threatened, and even the ability to just go take a walk was threatened. And if we're going to live like that, I think people said, hey, I'm not fulfilled in what I'm doing 9 to 5 or, worse, 50, 60 hours a week, right, that I'm going to find that. And so I think that's another thing, that people are going to begin to pursue what makes them tick, what makes them happy, and what is their real life's purpose. And I know that you can pursue those things and make a decent living. Like, it's no longer you have to be the starving artist, right? There are ways that you can make a living pursuing what you love. So yeah, those are the things that I think will change.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I think that everything you just said right now is just like a poster for, why you should network and why it's so important to build that community, because then you have all these amazing people around you to help you, to support you, to, help you find jobs. When I posted a few days ago about, my leaving, and, I already had things in the works, but I can't even tell you how many people just reached out to offer me, like, hey, I heard of this position. Hey, I heard of this, and me not even asking for help, people just coming to give it, because it's that sort of community. If you can build people up around you and give, they're going to give that right back. So 100%. Yes. Totally agree.
Yeah. And the networking thing, that should have even, like, that's one of the big things that we talk about in CDPD. And it's networking, not transactional networking, relationship building for the long haul. And that, of course, virtually networking is totally different than in person, but I think there are more opportunities, virtual networking. I couldn't have connected with, first of all, 70 of you have come into CDPD, Jennifer, 70 people.
Wow.
And I've only known 2 of those people face to face, right? So 70 professionals who, if I just told someone the other day, if I calculate all of the free that you guys have given us, I kid you not, it would be between $300,000 and $400,000 between the, someone who doesn't give a presentation to anyone less than $3,000, and you've given me 3, right? To, so you add those times 70, and some people they charge more than that. Then the one-on-ones that people have given our members that I know about, and the ones that I don't know about, people who charge $150 up to $500 an hour, and they've given that to us for free. Then the people who have said, hey, Dennett, give me 4 people, I'll write a resume for them. And then I go to their website and I see that a LinkedIn profile and a resume review is $450, and they just told me to give them people. So if I add all of that up, they've given us all anywhere between $300,000 to $500,000 easily. You guys have given us the 68 of you. I'm not even going to count the 2 people that I know. Let's not even count the hours of free I've given. Right? Okay. Let's not even. Count that,
you give so much, for sure, more than anybody else.
Yes. So that has been poured into us because I network. You didn't owe me anything, Jennifer, to come into the group and give in the way that you've given to us, right? Even now, giving more by highlighting the work that we are doing in the group. So if you are not networking, and I'm not talking about sending the connection request with the, hey, Dennett, I saw you talking with Jen and I liked it, right? Or that resonates with me. I'm talking about following up with me, right? Saying, hey, can we have a chat? Or just following the stuff that I am following, my content, and engaging with my content. And then maybe 2 months down the line, you'll jump in my inbox and say, hey, Dennett, I love this. But you have to build these relationships, because I got on LinkedIn. I deleted an old profile in 2014, but I wanted to hibernate it and I deleted it, right? So I got back on LinkedIn in 2019. By the time I started this group in April 2020, I had 409. I didn't even have 490, but let's say 490 is when I started to track it. Contacts. I purposely came out here to meet people who knew stuff I didn't know, because I don't know everything, who could pour into our group members. Today, I have over 5,000 contacts, but forget that. I have at least 2,000 people who I connect with, that we are connected, not just of the 5,000, and I'm someone that I read every profile. It was fun at first, now I have no time because of CDPD. I would read every single profile and I say, oh my goodness, she does that. Oh, I want to know more. And so I just say, like, network, guys, but let's don't even call it network. Build relationships on these social media platforms. I don't even count the almost 3,000 people I have on Instagram that follow. I always say they're not members, because Instagram people kind of fickle. They like something, but they won't. Yeah. They don't take it off of Instagram. But right. You talk about my LinkedIn crew. This is my space, LinkedIn and Facebook, and I've grown friendships. So guys, build relationships on these social media platforms. And if you are on Clubhouse, I think it's easier to build relationships because people can hear your voice. And when you're talking off the cuff, you can't hide it in the way that you can hide it when you are responding to comments. And I have a couple of invites available. So if there's anyone out there on Clubhouse, I think I have 5 now. Anyone out there who's not on Clubhouse, you have an iOS device, you can't get on with Android, just get into my DM in LinkedIn and I'll invite you in. It has to be an Apple device. That's what an iOS is, because someone told me they did and they didn't know that an iOS wasn't an Android. It has to be an iPhone or an iPad, and I'll give you an invite. But yeah, get out, make these relationships.
You were just the best. I'm so glad I had you on. You're just inspiring me all over, lifting me up today. I love it. You were just incredible. So I know we're winding down. We have a few minutes left here. I'd like to kind of wrap up talking a little bit about who inspires you. You know, who do you look to for inspiration? I know you said it took you a while to find a mentor, but I'm sure there's been other people in your life who you look up to. So we'd love to hear a little bit about that.
Definitely my mom. You know, my parents divorced when I was young. My mom was a single mom. Though my dad was in my life, he lived in another state, you know, so my mom was always hustling, and she was a reservist, and she wanted to become a registered nurse. And so she went back to college, and she did that. So my mom, all of my aunts are my favorite aunts, in case any of them look. I send them all the same birthday card. Like I buy 4 of them, and I send them to all of them when it's their birthday. So no one could say, you know, she said I was the favorite. But I have an aunt who is my mom's oldest sister, and she was an accountant for Mobil Oil, and she's in her 70s now. She wasn't allowed to drive. Interesting, right? Her husband didn't allow her to drive. Okay. How do you say that? And so, and she lived in the suburbs, worked in Manhattan, but lived in the suburbs. You need to drive. So she would take us kids, and we'd say we're going to the supermarket, and her husband would drop us off at the supermarket, and she'd say, come back at this time. This is pre-cell phones, you know, because I'm much older than you, Jennifer. And she would drive. She would go take driving lessons with us kids in the car at Taggart Driving School in Long Island, New York. And when I tell you, and she got her driver's license, and then she went and bought her a car, and she drove. That I always remember. And it was like, it's one of the most empowering stories ever, because here you have a woman who's an accountant at Mobil Oil. Okay. If it wasn't the largest oil company in the country, it was number 2 at the time. And this is in the 80s. And her husband didn't allow her to drive. They're still married today, but that's just the world we lived in. Women didn't drive, you know? And she said, no, I'm going to drive. And she just would, you know, put me, my brother, and her daughter, we just get in there, and she learned how to drive. She took her driver's lessons. Yeah, but I love, like, the women in my life showed me that there is nothing that I can't do if I put my mind to it, you know? And so, but I believe that for all of us, there's nothing that any of you who are on this live or catch the replay, there's nothing that you can do that you cannot do if you really, really want to do it. Now there may be a whole lot of work to do. I'm not going to tell you like buy this program or say these 10 things and you'll get it. There's work you'll have to put in, but don't let anyone tell you cannot do anything that you want to do, because I've seen amazing. And usually it was my family. It was definitely my family. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah. I come from a household full of very strong women as well, who helped me to be the person who I am. So I can definitely relate to that kind of inspiration. Well, thank you, Dennett, for being here. Everyone, we will be linking CDPD, the Facebook group, in here afterwards. So keep an eye out for that. Follow Dennett on LinkedIn, because she is incredible. Follow her on Clubhouse. We're going to start hosting a room soon. We talked about that before popping on the live. So I will include details about that on my page. Whenever we do that, it'll likely be, LinkedIn and professional development related, I assume, since that's what, we're all about in that way. Mm-hmm. But Dennett, anything you want to leave everyone with in regards to inspiration and 2021 and all this craziness?
Oh, yeah, sure. Thank you for having me, Jen. You have power in you. You have power. Like, I don't care where you are right now, you have power. And if you don't think you have power, you have power. You have enough power in you to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. And if you don't believe it right now, wake up every day, go into the mirror and say, I have power, and let that be your affirmation, because you have it. Not only I have power, I am power. And so that's what I leave. Stormy is getting ready to jump up here, so we got to go soon. That's my dog. That's my 60-pound puppy. She's right here pushing me. That's why I'm moving.
No worries. We're all good. Thank you.
But I love it. Thank you for having me, Jen.
No problem. Have a great day.
Take good care.